The universe, God, your higher self, or something bigger than you, has brought you to this precise moment because it's time for you to acknowledge the truth of who you are. You've always known you were different, and you've always felt something inside of you that set you apart from the others. Perhaps you couldn't explain it, or perhaps those around you never understood. But deep down, you've always sensed that your journey, your purpose, and your existence is not like everyone else's. This message is for you, and believe me, by the end of it, you'll know why you've always felt that way. This isn't just another video, though. It's a confirmation of what your soul has been telling you all along, that you are one of the chosen ones, and once you realize that, your life will never be the same. Pay close attention, because what I'm about to tell you will alter your perspective of yourself, and you'll realize that everything you've gone through, every hardship, every obstacle, and every moment of. Before we delve into these 7 powerful signs, I want you to take action. If you feel this energy and know deep down that this message is speaking to you, then drop 777 in the comments to let the universe know that you are awake. If you have been seeing 111 10333 comments, that too is not random. These numbers are messages. Isolation was not by accident. It was preparation. You have been called for something greater, confirmations that you are on the correct path. I want to see how many of us are actually awakening at this moment. You see, the world is changing. A spiritual war is going on all around us. And while not everyone can see it or feel it, the chosen ones can. You have always been sensitive to energy and aware that something deeper is going on beneath the surface. And that's because your soul remembers who you are and why you came here. Now is the time for you to fully awaken. Whether you've been looking for answers or this just happened to you, you were meant to hear this today. There are forces in this world that don't want you to know who you are. There are energies that have tried to suppress you, make you doubt yourself, and break you. But they couldn't, because a chosen one can never be defeated. The journey hasn't been easy, has it? You've faced more challenges than most people. You've felt pain that others couldn't understand, and you've wondered why life seems so much harder for you. I need you to pay close attention because we are going to delve deeply. These 7 signs are not merely random characteristics. They are evidence that you were chosen from the moment of your birth. Some of you may already know you are chosen, but this will confirm it. Others may have always felt different, but never fully understood it. I want to tell you something. Those challenges were never meant to destroy you. Rather, they were meant to awaken you. The chosen ones are tested the hardest because they have the greatest mission. Realized why? In any case, after this, you won't have any more doubts. And once you realize that you can't ignore them, you'll begin to see the signs everywhere. You'll see how everything in your life has brought you to this point. Every setback, betrayal, and moment of confusion has all helped to shape you into the strong person you were destined to be. This is your awakening, so take a deep breath and open your heart, mind, and spirit to what's ahead, because we are about to discover the truth that has been concealed within you all along. Let's start with sign number 1. You've always felt different from the beginning. You've known that you weren't like everyone else, and it wasn't something you chose or could control. It was just that you had a deep-seated awareness that you were somehow different from the people around you. As a child, you may have struggled with this feeling. While others seemed content with the surface, you were drawn to the depths, and wondered why things were the way they were. You may have even felt out of place in your own family, not because you didn't love them, but there was always a disconnect between your thoughts and your dreams. You looked around at others and wondered why they seemed so content to follow the same patterns, live inside the same system, and never question anything. The truth is that you were never meant to be like them. The chosen ones have always been set apart. For this reason, even as a young child, you may have felt like an outsider, as if you didn't belong, not because you were flawed, but rather because the world wasn't prepared for you. No matter how much you tried to explain it, they couldn't quite understand you. You may have even heard things like, "Why can't you just be normal?" or "You think too much." The chosen ones carry a light that challenges the norm. You carry an energy that makes people question their own existence, and not everyone is ready for that. This connection to the unseen is an energy that others could feel, but couldn't always accept. This feeling of being different wasn't just in your mind. People noticed it. Maybe they couldn't explain it, but they could feel it. Some were drawn to you, sensing something special about you, while others resented you without even knowing why. Did you ever find yourself drawn to older people's in-depth discussions or subjects that most children didn't find interesting during your childhood? Did you find it harder to fit in by pretending to be someone you weren't? These are all indications that you were born different, and the truth is that your difference was never a weakness or a mistake. Rather, it was your power. The world tried to convince you that being different was something to be ashamed of, and society teaches people to conform to follow the norm. No matter how hard you tried, something inside of you refused to be suppressed, because the chosen ones cannot be tamed. You were never meant to follow the crowd. Instead, you were meant to see beyond the illusion, break free from the chains of this world, and rise above what everyone else accepts as reality. That's why you felt different. You may have even tried for a while to blend in and silence your thoughts and ignore your inner voice. But you could never do that. This feeling didn't go away as you grew older. In fact, it might have gotten stronger as you became more aware of who you really were. You realized how disconnected you were from the things that most people pursue, such as material success, social validation, and mindless entertainment, because your soul was constantly craving something more. There may have been moments when you asked yourself, "Why do I feel so different? Why can't I just be like everyone else?" You weren't sent here to be like them. Rather, you were sent here to wake them up, break the cycle, bring light where darkness exists, and lead others out of the illusion. But here's the thing. The system and the enemy are aware of who you are, which is why you've been misunderstood, and why some people still reject you despite your love. It's not about you. It's about the energy you carry and your very existence. The things that made you feel alone are the very things that made you choose, and the things that made you question everything are the very things that will set you free. You were born to stand out, not fit in, to break generational cycles, not repeat them, to see the truth, not live in the illusion. And now is the time for you to overcome the programming that most people are trapped in. Some people cannot handle that, but here's what you need to understand. Your difference is your greatest gift. To fully embrace that, stop trying to diminish yourself in order to make others feel comfortable. Stop dimming your light in order to blend in, and stop apologizing for who you are. You were chosen for a reason, and if this message resonates with you, you already know it deep down. If you've always felt this way, or if you've always known that you were different, take this as confirmation that you were never crazy, never alone, and never wrong to feel the way you did. You were just awakening before everyone else. Now is the time for you to step into you are not alone. The chosen ones are waking up, and we see you. This is just the beginning. The first indication that you were chosen since birth is that you've always felt different, but that's only one piece of the puzzle. Let's go deeper, because once you see all the signs, you won't ever doubt yourself again. Power Drop 777. In the comments. If you've ever struggled with your identity, felt misunderstood, or felt like the outsider, let me tell you what I mean. Always had a strong intuition, because there is something inside of you that has always been aware. A deep knowing that transcends logic, reasoning, and what anyone could explain to you. Your intuition has always been so strong that it can sometimes feel like a curse, because you can sense when something is wrong and feel people's energy before they even speak. Usually, your instincts are right, and this is one of the biggest signs that you were chosen from birth, because the chosen ones are. You have always trusted something deeper, something that cannot be explained, but cannot be ignored. Think about it. How many times in your life have you had a bad feeling about someone, only to later discover that they were not who they pretended to be? How many times have you felt that something was going to happen, good or bad, before it actually did? How many times have you looked at a person who is different from you? They are deeply connected to their higher self, the unseen, and the divine intelligence that guides them. Situation, and sense the truth right away, even when everyone else was blind to it. This isn't a coincidence. It's a gift. Selected ones have always had heightened intuition because they were born with spiritual sight. Your spirit has always been connected to something bigger, even before you fully understood it. You can sense the hidden intentions behind people's words and pick up on even the smallest shifts in energy. You don't just hear what people say, you feel what they mean. This is why it's so difficult. People can lie to you even when they say the right things, but something inside of you tells you the truth. That's why you can walk into a room and know right away if the energy is good or bad. You can tell when someone is acting fake, when someone is draining your energy, or when someone is secretly jealous of you. You don't need proof. You just know. And let me tell you something. This intuition has saved you. Having this gift is both a blessing and a challenge, because most people don't have it. Most people only believe what they can see. They don't feel energy the way you do. They don't understand how you just know things. And as a result, you've probably been called crazy more than once. You learn the hard way that your intuition is always correct because it comes from your soul, not your mind. It's divine guidance that constantly protects you and guides you toward the truth. You were simply being Pomo, but you were always ahead of them, seeing things before they became apparent, feeling things before they happened, and always in tune with the unseen, while others were trapped in the illusion. Here's what you need to realize, though. In a world full of deceit, your intuition is a weapon, not just a tool. It keeps you out of situations that others would blindly walk into, protects you from manipulators, and shields you from energy vampires. Intended for you. It leads you to your actual path, even when the outside world tries to steer you in a different direction. Have you ever noticed how you can predict when someone is going to leave your life before it actually occurs? Have you ever sensed a change in energy in a relationship, knowing deep down that something was coming, even though everything appeared to be going well on the surface? This is your intuition alerting you to the impending storm. The universe is preparing you so nothing ever surprises you. But the issue is not. Everyone is ready for your gift. There have been occasions when you have warned them about things they couldn't see yet and told them the truth before they were ready to hear it. Instead of listening, they have called you negative and dramatic, and they didn't even feel the need to say, "I told you so," because you already knew that you weren't trying to be correct. Rather, you were trying to help. For this reason, you need to trust your intuition more than ever. Many people wish they had this level of insight. They wish they could see through deception the way you do. They wish they could avoid heartbreak. They wish they could avoid bad decisions. They wish they could avoid the wrong people. But this is your gift, and if you don't use it, if you wish to avoid distractions, lies, and illusions. However, your spirit can always recognize the truth. The more you listen to your intuition, the stronger it becomes. The more you trust it, the more guidance you will receive. If your intuition is telling you something, believe it the first time. It's not just a feeling, it's a message. And that message is meant to protect you, guide you, and lead you toward your highest purpose. Do not trust it, or you are denying one of the most powerful abilities you were born with. Therefore, from this moment on, make a commitment to yourself to stop doubting your feelings and to stop seeking external validation when your soul already knows the answer. The chosen Chen ones were given this ability for a reason. You were sent here to see, not to be blind. If you have always had a strong sense of the truth, even when others were unable to see it, then leave a comment letting the universe know that you are awake and acknowledge this power within you. Let's go even further, because if your intuition has always been strong, it means that you have been engaged in spiritual battles your entire life, which leads us to the next sign. Third, if you are a chosen one, you have experienced numerous spiritual attacks. Your life has never been easy from the start. You have fought against odds that most people wouldn't survive, been tested, broken, and pushed to the limit more times than you can count. But let me tell you something. This was never a coincidence. The enemy knew who you were the moment you came into this world, and the forces of darkness recognized your soul before you even realized your own power. As a result, you have been attacked since birth, not because you are weak, but because of your strength. The enemy doesn't waste time on people who don't matter, and the system doesn't try to suppress those who don't pose a threat. That's precisely why your life has been full of resistance. Reflect on your journey and consider how many times you've experienced unspeakable hardships and times you've asked yourself, why is life so hard for me? Why do I have to go through so much pain? The answer is straightforward. You were chosen, and those who are tested. The hardest things you've experienced include being attacked in ways that most people wouldn't understand, being born into a toxic family, being surrounded by negativity, being isolated, misunderstood, and treated like an outsider, even by those who were supposed to love you, or being betrayed by people you trusted the most, including friends, family, and partners. You've given your heart, your energy, and your loyalty, only to be met with deceit and pain. But that wasn't an accident. It was all meant to be. Break you down and make you doubt your own worth. The enemy wanted you to think that you were alone, abandoned, and unworthy. But let me tell you something. The fact that you are still standing today is evidence that they failed. Every attack on your life was intended to destroy you, but instead, it strengthened you. Furthermore, you must realize that these attacks were never just physical. They were spiritual, which is why even when everything appeared to be going well on the surface, you still experienced internal battles, and your mind, emotions, and dreams were all attacked by things that attempted to take away your joy, peace, and purpose. Let's talk about dreams, as many chosen ones suffer from spiritual attacks while they sleep, including nightmares, paralysis, and strange visions. This is not a coincidence. The spiritual realm is real, and you have always been sensitive to it. When your spirit is strong, when your destiny is great, dark forces will try to stop you by any means necessary. Have you ever noticed that every time you start moving forward, something unexpectedly knocks you down? Just when you think you're finally living out your purpose, another obstacle shows up. And just when you're beginning to heal, another betrayal occurs. These attacks are spiritual. The enemy is afraid you'll realize your power, which is why they always try to shake you just before you break free. However, they don't tell you that. The fact that you are being attacked so frequently is the clearest indication that you have been selected. No one fights against someone who isn't a threat, and no one tries to destroy anything that isn't valuable. The enemy has been attempting to stop you because your light is too strong. Listen, I know it hasn't always been easy. There have been moments when you wanted to give up, when you felt worn out, lost, and perhaps even when you wondered if it was all worth it. But you must realize that you were never intended to lose. These attacks weren't intended to destroy you. The fact that you are here now, pushing, fighting, and still seeking the truth means that you have already won one thing, but it's time to fight back. And no, I don't mean with anger, revenge, or negativity, because the enemy wouldn't be fighting you so hard if you weren't about to rise, if you weren't about to step into your full power, and they wouldn't be trying so hard to keep you down. The secret is that they never wanted you to know that you were always stronger than them, which is why they had to attack you so early. It's because they tried to break you before you even realized your own strength. The way you win is by standing in your truth, refusing to be broken, and stepping fully into your power. The moment you stop letting fear control you, the moment you stop believing the lies that were placed in your mind, and the moment you fully embrace the fact that you were chosen, the attacks lose their power. Genuinely, nothing can stop you. So if you've been attacked, been through hardships that most people couldn't bear, or experienced things that should have destroyed you but didn't, take this as proof that you are not a victim, weak, or cursed. Rather, you are chosen, and your struggles were never meant to break you, but rather to prepare you. Leave 3033 in the comments if you've experienced things that only a chosen one could survive. If you've been attacked, betrayed, knocked down, but still managed to get back up, then let's go even further, because if you have experienced spiritual attacks, you have also experienced something else, a heightened sensitivity to energy. This leads us to the next unquestionable sign that you were chosen since birth. Sign number 4. You are extremely empathetic and have the ability to sense energy. You don't just hear what people say. You really feel what they mean. You don't just see what's going on around you. You sense the energy beneath the surface. This is not a coincidence. It is a gift. The chosen ones are not just spiritually awake. They are extremely empathic. You don't just observe the world. You absorb it. You feel everything on a deeper level, sometimes so deeply that it overwhelms you. Since you were a child, you've been aware of things that others couldn't explain. You've felt emotions that weren't even yours. You've walked into rooms and immediately sensed whether something was off before anyone said a word. Although it has been one of your greatest strengths, it has also been one of your biggest challenges, because feeling everything so deeply isn't always easy. There have been times when you felt exhausted just by being around certain people. When someone is lying, even if their words sound perfect, you can sense when they are hurting, even if they are smiling on the outside. You can also sense tension in a room, even if no one is arguing. You see, chosen ones are not merely recipients of energy, they are transmuters. You don't just feel the world's pain and try to heal it. You don't just recognize suffering and want to fix it. You've been the one to carry the burdens of others, who listens when no one else will, who gives without expecting anything in return. And, in times when you couldn't understand why you suddenly felt anxious, sad, or exhausted, you realized later that you were absorbing the emotions of others. Because of this, you've been taken advantage of, ignored, and depleted by people who didn't value the light you brought into their lives. However, you must realize that this sensitivity to energy is not a weakness. Rather, it is your superpower. You were endowed with this ability because you were never intended to live on the surface. Rather, you are meant to see beyond what is visible, which is why you are drawn to, since the chosen ones have a deep divine ability to recognize truth and lies, light and darkness, real and fake. You can't stand fake energy, fake conversations, and fake connections. You can see through deception so clearly that it's nearly impossible for people to fool you, and those who do so eventually expose themselves. However, when you have this level of empathy, you must protect your energy, because not everyone deserves it. Not everyone deserves your kindness, time, and attention. You've learned this the hard way, haven't you? You have a heart that wants to be healed, but the truth is that not everyone wants to be healed. Some people will only take from you, some will only drain you, and some will attach themselves to your light because they have none of their own. For this reason, boundaries are crucial for a chosen one. How many times have you given your energy to someone only to feel completely exhausted afterwards? If you are constantly tired, broken, and drained, start paying attention to how you feel after interacting with people. Do you feel lighter, more inspired, or heavy and depleted? The answer will tell you who is meant to be in your life and who isn't. Listen, I know it's difficult as an empath, wanting to help everyone, heal everyone, and be there for people to show them that you care. Protect your energy, as if your life depended on it, because you cannot pour into others if your own cup is empty. The love and understanding you never received. But some people don't want to be saved. Some will drain you to keep themselves full, and some will take advantage of your generosity because they think your energy is limitless. The truth is, though, that your energy is sacred, your presence is a privilege, and your light is a gift that not everyone deserves. Once you realize this, your entire life will change, and I need you to start believing what your spirit is telling you. If someone's energy feels off, believe empaths are the world's healers, but they must first learn how to protect themselves. You cannot save everyone, but you can protect yourself from those who only take advantage of your gift, which is powerful when used wisely. But let me ask you this. Have you ever been able to sense the energy of a room? Have you ever sensed the truth before it was revealed? Get rid of yourself if your intuition is warning you about someone, Listen the first time, emotions that weren't even yours. If so, you are one of the chosen ones, and now is the time to accept your gift without allowing it to destroy you. If you can relate to this, leave 444 in the comments. This will let the universe know that you are aware of your gift and are prepared to safeguard your energy. Let's go even further, because if you have always been extremely sensitive to energy, you have most likely encountered other divine synchronicity that cannot be disregarded. Sign number 5. You have had a powerful. There are no coincidences in your life, even though you may have believed there were at one point. However, you now know better because you have witnessed instances where the universe spoke to you directly through signs, numbers, and events that defied logic. This is known as synchronicity, and if you have been witnessing it repeatedly, it means that you are in alignment with something bigger and are following a path that is being. Even if you don't fully understand it yet, consider this. Have you ever considered something and then the solution appeared in front of you? Have you ever been having trouble making a decision and a sign appeared to help you? Have you ever been thinking about someone and they suddenly called you Lord message? This isn't random. It's the universe, your higher self, your spiritual guides, and your chosen ones communicating with you in a powerful way. Because they are not simply going through life mindlessly, they are on a divine mission. And when you are on a mission, you are given signs to keep you on the correct path. One of the most common ways synchronicities appear is through numbers. If you have been seeing numbers like 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 7, 7, 7, 11, 11, then realize that you are being called 111. You are entering a new spiritual awakening, and your thoughts are manifesting quickly. So pay attention to what you focus on. Balance alignment, and have faith in the 1111 is a wake-up call from the universe, reminding you of your higher purpose and mission. These numbers are not just coincidences. They are messages the universe is trying to get your attention toward, trying to guide you towards something important. The more you notice them, the more you realize that the universe is working behind the scenes, even if you can't see it yet. 333. Divine guidance and protection. Your spiritual team is with you, guiding you through challenges. 777. D. A confirmation that you are on the right path. You are growing spiritually, and your intuition is pointing you in the right direction, more in tune with your destiny. But synchronicities don't just appear in numbers. They also appear in conversations, dreams, songs, and symbols. Have you ever been thinking about something deeply, and then someone you didn't know said exactly what you needed to hear? Have you ever been lost, and then a song that speaks directly to your soul suddenly played? Have you ever seen the same word, the same symbol, or the same message repeatedly until you finally paid attention? This is how the universe communicates with those who are chosen. It doesn't always use words. But the thing about synchronicities is that you have to be aware of them, because too many people ignore the signs because they're searching for something bigger. Alignment puts the right things in front of you when you need them, and the more conscious you become, the more you realize that nothing in your life has been random. Even your struggles and challenges were all leading you somewhere. Every delay, rejection, and closed door was guiding you to something greater. Obvious. But the universe speaks in whispers, nudges you, and gives you hints. But it won't force you to see what you're not ready for. So, I want you to reflect on how many times the universe has spoken to you, how many times you've received signs but dismissed them as coincidences, and how many times things have lined up in ways that you couldn't explain but still question them. If you've been seeing synchronicities, it means one thing you need to consider. Are on the right track. You're in alignment with something greater than yourself, and you're being divinely led step by step toward your greatest purpose. Here's something powerful. If you need clarification or guidance, ask the universe or your higher self for more signs. For example, if you thought, "If I meant to do this, show me a sign," and then pay attention, the sign will come. It always does, because when you're a chosen one, the universe is always speaking to you. If you're listening, leave 777 in the comments. Noticing significant synchronicities in your life. If you have been guided by numbers, symbols, dreams, and divine messages, let the universe know. Now, let's go even further, because if you have been experiencing synchronicities, you have likely also felt a strong and unwavering pull toward spirituality and truth. If you are a sign number 6, you have always been drawn to spirituality and truth. There has always been something inside of you that is searching for truth, even before you understood what spirituality was or had the words to express it. One of the most obvious indications that you were chosen from birth is that you knew there was more to life than what was being shown to you, and that you could never accept things at face value. While others were content with superficial expert explanations, you always wanted to delve deeper. The chosen ones are seekers who don't follow orders mindlessly and don't just accept what they're told. Instead, they question everything: life, reality, the system, religion, and history, because they have a strong desire to learn what's real and what's been. When you were younger, did you ever feel that something about this world didn't make sense? Perhaps you looked around and wondered why people seemed to be so preoccupied with material things and why they were stuck in routines that didn't fulfill them. You probably ask yourself questions that no one else has asked before, like why we are here, what happens after we die, and who is truly in charge of this world. From a young age, you've been drawn to things that most people overlook, like spirituality and consciousness of the unseen, forces that shape our reality. While others were distracted, you were looking for answers because you felt that life was more complicated than it seemed. You were correct. This is why you've never been able to fit into a box or simply follow a path because someone told you to. You needed to understand why this is a sign of a true chosen one, someone who seeks knowledge beyond what is provided to them. Moreover, you've always felt a connection to the divine, even if you weren't raised in a religious household. Didn't have the right words for it, but you always felt like something bigger than yourself was pulling you toward a higher power. The more you awaken, the stronger this pull gets. You've probably noticed that as you get older, you're becoming less interested in material things like money, status, and possessions, because your soul is yearning for wisdom, purpose, and truth. You find yourself drawn to spiritual texts, ancient teachings, and hidden mysteries. You discovered that you were researching topics that most people don't even consider. Perhaps you have delved into meditation, energy work, consciousness, universal laws, or you have felt a strong connection to nature, the cosmos, and things beyond this physical reality. However, the truth is that this is nothing new for you. Your soul has been on this path for lifetimes. This isn't your first time seeking truth, which is why it feels so natural. Learning. And let's talk about something important: your spiritual awakening. If you're reading this, you've probably had one, and it may not have been easy for most chosen ones. The process of awakening is painful and comes after a period of intense suffering and questioning everything you thought you knew. It's not a gentle process. Rather, it's a shattering. You lose people and your old mindset, and you begin to see the world for what it truly is. It can be overwhelming, but once you wake up, you can never recover. Despite the fact that it may feel lonely at times, know that you are not alone. The reason you are drawn to spirituality, truth, and wisdom is because you are meant to guide others. You are meant to walk this path not only for yourself, but also to assist those who are still searching. This is why society keeps people numb. If everyone woke up, the illusion would fall apart, and the chosen ones are supposed to lead the way. So, let me ask you, have you always felt drawn to spirituality? Have you always searched? Have you ever questioned the world around you for deeper meaning? If so, this is your confirmation that you are not here on a mission to just anyone. If you feel this truth in your soul, if you have been searching for answers your entire life, or if you have been drawn to spirituality in ways that you cannot even explain, then let the universe know that you are awake. However, if you have always felt a sense of spiritual calling, there is one more thing you've probably felt: a strong sense of purpose that you can't ignore. Sign number 7. You have a strong sense of purpose and have always known deep down that you were meant for something greater, even if you didn't know what it was or had the words to describe it. You constantly felt drawn to something greater than yourself and couldn't settle for a routine life because you are not like everyone else. This is one of the most unmistakable signs that you are a chosen one. One is your soul remembering its mission. From an early age, you likely felt that you were meant to make a difference, but you may not have known how or what your purpose was. Nevertheless, you could never get rid of the feeling that you were here to do something significant. And the truth is that you are chosen. You have always felt a higher calling, even in your darkest moments when you felt lost. But something inside you refused to give up, whispering, "Keep going. There is more for you." No matter how much the world tries to break you, you can't be broken because you came into this world with a mission and a divine assignment. Think back on your life and how many times you've been in situations that should have destroyed you. How many times you've been knocked down and then gotten back up stronger than before. And how many times you felt like giving up, but something inside of you kept you going. That's not just your inner strength. It's divine protection. And that's your purpose, refusing to let you go. I understand that sometimes it can be frustrating to feel like you're moving through life looking for something that's just out of reach. You may not have all the answers yet, and you may not know exactly what your purpose is. But let me tell you something. You don't need to have everything figured out. The fact that you feel this pull, this calling, indicates that you are already headed in the right direction because, in reality, your purpose has always been inside of you since the day you were born. You just need to awaken to it. The pain you endured wasn't in vain. The betrayals, loneliness, and struggles were all preparing you for your mission. The chosen ones are not simply cold. They are put to the test, and after passing it, they enter their true power. You've always felt that you were meant to lead and create in order to help others. Perhaps you were drawn to healing, teaching, or helping others come out of their darkness. Perhaps you've had a vision of a time when you will be standing in your full power and having an impact, changing lives. And guess what? That's not just a dream. That's your destiny. But here's what you need to know. If you keep doubting yourself, your purpose won't come to you. If you keep waiting for the right time, opportunity, or sign, you have to start walking in it, even before you feel ready, because you were born ready. You don't need permission, approval, or everyone's approval. You just need to stop waiting for everything to be perfect. The most potent part is that your purpose isn't just about you. It's about the people you are meant to reach, the lives you are meant to impact, the souls you are meant to awaken. Consider how many people are still lost, still trapped in darkness, still searching for the truth. And here you are, already awake, already aware, already rising. You need to stop hiding, doubting, and questioning whether or not you are meant for something great, because you already know the answer. You are. You were never meant to fit in. You were never meant to follow the crowd. You were meant to lead, to heal, to awaken, to rise. Drop 999 in the comments if you know deep down that you were here for something bigger. The world needs you to step into your power. If you have always felt a strong sense of purpose, even when you couldn't explain it, and you have always known that you were here for something greater, this is your confirmation. The question is, will you continue to live the same way, doubting yourself and holding yourself back? Or will you finally step into your true power? The world is changing. The chosen ones are waking up. And if you've made it this far, it means you are one of the chosen ones. If you're ready to embrace your purpose and step into your calling, let the universe know that you're ready, because this is just the beginning. You've seen all 7 signs, and you now know without a doubt that you were among the chosen ones from birth. Since this isn't just another video, it's a confirmation of what you've always known, but may not have fully grasped. You were never ordinary. You were never meant to be like everyone else. You were set apart from birth. You were chosen. And now is the time for you to step into who you truly are. The world is changing. A great awakening is taking place, and the veil is being lifted. Of them, the time for waiting is over. It's time to rise. The truth is that knowing that you've been chosen isn't enough. Acknowledging the signs isn't enough. Feeling the energy isn't enough. You must embrace it. You must step fully into your power and begin living the way you were meant to. You must stop doubting yourself, hiding who you are, and playing small in order to please others. And those who are meant to rise are being called to their higher purpose. And if you've made it this far, then you are one of them. The question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Comfortable? The waiting period is over. Your entire life has been preparing you for this moment. Every hardship, heartache, and lesson has strengthened you and molded you into the person you were meant to be, the warrior, the healer, the leader. Now is the time to take control of your destiny. If you have always felt different, it's because you were meant to stand out. If your intuition has always been strong, it's because you were given divine sight. If you have experienced innumerable spiritual attacks, it's because the enemy knew who you were before you did. If you were born with a strong sense of purpose, it's because you were born with a mission to fulfill. If you've always been drawn to spirituality and truth, it's because your soul remembers. If you've experienced powerful synchronicities, it's because the universe has been guiding you all along. And if you've been highly sensitive to energy, it's because you were born to heal and uplift others. Now, I need you to make a decision. You can ignore this message and carry on with your life as usual, acting as though you didn't hear it. Inside of you, or or you can take a step forward. And now that you have finished questioning yourself, you are ready to accept who you are and begin walking in your purpose. Because, as they say, once a chosen one awakens, nothing can stop them. The world may try to keep you asleep, but it's too late. The illusions are dissolving. You see the truth. You feel the calling, and you can no longer ignore it. So, from this moment on, walk with confidence that you are not. If you're ready to take charge of your life, and you know deep down that you were meant for more, then let the universe know that you are awake and that the chosen ones are rising. If you've made it this far, it means you are one. Lost, you are not alone. And every moment of your life, every struggle, every breakthrough, led to this realization. This is the beginning of your next chapter. And this time you won't shrink. This time you won't hesitate. This time, you'll rise. Leave 707 in the comments. The world is waiting for you. Now is the moment to take control of your future. And this is just the beginning.